Itagan missing chitab Kalenjin ke town tetutiet nebo Kass Mashinani tugul tetutiet noton neibun logoiwekab emet chengeten komoswek cheterter chebo emoni ole kitaunen logoiwek komosta nebo Westlands en Nairobi ole kakon kamiset sirindet neo ministry nebo somanet noton ko ambassador Julius Bitok ne kamwa kole wendi kokere serikali kole katestai komie yaetab tiemutikab boror choto chebo KJSEA koboto chebo KCSE en emet komugul asimabit kiy age tugul neimuch kongem kamugetab kipsomaninik nebo koyai tiemutik chotok. Kololien Westlands en Nairobi kasarta nekabaorionji taunetab kokwoutiet nebo pcheitaetab tiemutik chotok chebo betutab rani Jumatatu. Komwa Bitok kole koibet sobonwek kipsomaninik 14 en komosta nebo Chesongoch en Elgeyo Marakwet yekon kobit nyasutiet noton bo ng'asakanetab ng'wondet kosubkei ak ropta neo netestai koroboni en komosatak. Kinyoru ng'alalet nebo PS Bitok.
And I'm happy to note that the process is moving on smoothly around the country. For the last 2 weeks, we have been administering these exams and the process has been very smooth, particularly for practical papers for KCSE, KPSEA and KJSEA. Today is the beginning of large papers for KCSE and we have been able to issue them here in Westlands, and the same is happening all over the country. The opening of containers began at 7 a.m. around the country, and I'm happy to confirm that all containers have been opened around the country, and our sub-county directors, our county directors, regional directors, together with quality assurance officers, have been on the ground to ensure that exams are opened and dispatched to various centers. One thing I want to tell the country is that for today, majority of the students doing KCSE are sitting for their English paper, the first large paper around the country. It's a compulsory paper for all students doing KCSE. And as you know, KCSE is an exam which has been here for some time. And for KJSEA, this is the last day. The learners are sitting for their last paper of KJSEA. That is a paper that is expected to help them to transition to senior school. And so far, I want to thank all our stakeholders, all our teachers, our invigilators for smoothly rolling out KPSEA, which was completed last week. And of course also KJSEA, which has been running for the last 6 days. And today is the last day of KJSEA. I'm also happy to note that despite the logistical challenges because of rains, we have put in adequate measures. We have made adequate arrangements to ensure that no candidate is disadvantaged because of weather conditions. We have deployed helicopters, we have deployed motor vehicles, and all the requirements that are required to ensure that every candidate is given a chance to sit for the examinations. I single out Elgeyo Marakwet, which we had an incident last weekend. We have also made arrangements. Unfortunately, we lost 14 students in the incident. It's really unfortunate. And we have made logistical arrangements also, including working very closely with our security agencies to ensure that all the students have been safely evacuated and all the students can be able to sit for their examinations without interruption. Personally, I'm going there right now. I'm traveling to Elgeyo Marakwet to ensure that I supervise all the arrangements to ensure that all the candidates are able to sit for their examinations without any interruptions. It's a very unfortunate incident of the mudslide. But we want to say that we are really sorry for the families. We are really sorry for the affected persons. It was really an unfortunate incident. But as government, we are doing everything possible to ensure that normalcy is restored in all our schools in the valley, in all our schools in the region, so that our learners can be able to continue doing their exams and to continue with their activities with minimal interruptions. So I want to call upon all of us even as we begin large papers of KCSE, I want to call upon all the stakeholders to be professional. Let us act with integrity. Let us ensure that we follow all the rules and all the regulations that have been set by Kenya National Examination Council, and let us do the right thing. Our sub-county directors, our county directors have very clear instructions not to compromise anything around examinations. We must deliver a credible exam this season, and we are very keen. We are following, we are monitoring, we have put every resource to ensure that we deliver a credible exam for this nation. And I'm confident with the instructions given and with the supervision that is being deployed and with the assistance from the security agencies and all stakeholders, we should be able to deliver a credible exam, and we are confident that our learners will be able to receive results soon, results which will reflect their performance and their assessments. Thank you.
Okay, maybe you can speak a bit into the issue of...
Well, I want to say that we are doing everything possible to ensure that we deliver a credible exam, and we are pulling every resource to ensure that the invigilation, the adjudication, the credibility of the exam, the integrity of the exam is protected. So we are saying we have given our sub-county directors and county directors leeway to be able to deploy as many persons as possible that are required to ensure that this exam is done properly. We do not have any shortages of teachers. As you are aware, the government has been doing everything possible to employ teachers, and we have ensured that there's adequate deployment of human resource in terms of teachers and other personnel to ensure that the exams are credible and we respect the integrity, or rather we ensure that there's integrity in the deployment process. So I want to say that a teacher is a teacher, and teachers who are available are deployed to different areas, to different schools, to different centers, so that we ensure that everybody gets a chance and that our learners are supervised properly. That is really the main reason why we are doing this.
When do you expect the KPSEA and the KJSEA marking to kick off?
I want to say that we are starting the marking immediately. Our plan is that as soon as we finish KJSEA today, as from tomorrow, marking begins. We have made all arrangements and marking begins immediately. And we're expecting the results to be released on the 11th of December for KJSEA, so that we have adequate time to plan for transition to senior school. So I want to tell the country that most of the KJSEA exam will be marked electronically, and marking will begin immediately as soon as tomorrow, and we expect it to be done expeditiously, and within another 40 days at most we should be able to release that result, so that we have the better part of the second half of December to be a time when we are doing the placement, and so that these students can be able to come back in early January to be able to join senior school. So that is the plan that we have. We are putting systems, we are putting the machinery. We have a digital system that is helping us to plan this transition, and every learner is expected to get a place in senior school. We have 1.12 million learners who are doing KJSEA, who are expected to go to senior school, and we have 2.4 million spaces in senior school. So every learner will get a chance to move to the senior school, and we are doing everything possible to ensure that we have a smooth transition to the senior school, including a digital system that is helping us to ensure that we process that information expeditiously and accurately.
The fee guidelines for senior schools, would the parents be using the same guidelines for the current secondary schools, or should they expect new guidelines?
By and large, we are not expecting any significant difference in terms of fee. There could be marginal differences because of the introduction of pathways. But I want to assure the parents that there are adjustments in the school fees based on the pathways. As you are aware, we have 3 pathways. We have STEM, we have social sciences and arts and sports, and each of those has different fee guidelines. But overall, there is very marginal difference between the fee for secondary school and senior school. There's marginal difference. So I want to assure the parents that there's not much change. If there are adjustments, they are just adjustments based on the recommendations of the Presidential Working Party on education reform. That is our baseline in terms of there are minimal adjustments in terms of fee.
Komakitestai kole alak chebo emet ketokchinigei taonit nebo Eldoret ole miten kabarastoikyok kotestai ak rutoito anan road show noton eng kibagenge kampunit nebo Kass Media Group ak kampunit nebo Safaricom eng kasarta netestai koboibochin kampunitab Safaricom kenyisiek 25 kong'eten komuch koyai icheket boisionik en emetab Kenya. Miten komosatok kabarastoik chebo Kass Media Group cheboto Triza Cherorot ole kimache kityo kemwowech kochobok icheket asikomuch koibwech report neng'eten komosta nebo Eldoret ole kimache komwowech kole ne netesetai en Eldoret, mwoe ne customaek chebo kampunitab Safaricom ako ne tetutik chana chemuch konyorunen kelchin biikab emet chenyoru icheket kotestai ak roadshow inotok. Triza Cherorot amache akonin boroindo ing'ololwech iwe report en oret nebo agenge en agenge.
Officially ko kakelonchen anan kakelumda promotion inegen nekotauge betusiek nekit mutyo kokosirto kitauge tarik 31 arawani konye. Promotion nekale Safaricom testai eng betusiek 49 chemite tayon cheimuche ibelchigei chi milionit agenge ak ketesun 250,000 Kenya shillings chenyalu iiti iker ile ketoreten community noton neng'ung'et. Ako kakitachech eng betutab rani, katachech waziri en county nemiten en county government noton nebo Uasin Gishu net ko Martha Cheruto CECM noton nemiten komosan bo trade, industrialization, tourism, cooperatives ak enterprise development nekomiten en betutab rani en launch noton nebo Shangwe at 25 neibwech Safaricom. So komoche keng'alal ak inendet komwawech kole tos une ngomiten igorto neuni keyoe en county noton nebo Uasin Gishu en betutab rani. Tos une mung'aret, tos une boisiet noton nebendi koyoe ak Safaricom. Atya anyun keng'alal eng nwokindo kityo komwawech kole tos panganutik chetinye eng betutab rani. Ako kakemwa kelenjin ma lazima isubscribe tai kityo itinye line noton nebo Safaricom, tai iboisie Safaricom iyoktoi pesa, kiyogun pesa. Ko niton amune sikemiten en county nebo Uasin Gishu. Mama Martha Cheruto, karibu sana en Kass TV. Amache atachin kat kotab kolenjin siketestai.
Kongoi missing. Engainek shukenda Martha Cheruto, waziri nebo trade, cooperatives, tourism and industrialization en county nebo Uasin Gishu. Yes.
Mwawech ile tos ikostono rani kokweket kotai Safaricom koboiboichin 25 years.
Kibai missing. Amun 25 years of existence. Engacheket ko it's a very good milestone, a great milestone. Kimwae congratulations. Eng niaba nebo Excellency the Governor nebo Uasin Gishu. Kimwae congratulations to Safaricom.
In town nebo anan in city is not a town nyoetab kat korok city noton nebo Eldoret ko kingen kele gaa nebo biikab Rift Valley tugul investment tugul kebwone. Tos ne nekoitet koi en department noton nung'et en biik choton chekoyoe mung'aret en yuton?
So in Uasin Gishu ni kimi heartbeat nebo the entire North Rift economic block, about 8 counties. That's us being the center, we have several programs and contributions and initiatives kagia en trade department under nguzo number 4 of His Excellency the Governor. Kuna mipango mingi sana. Ya kwanza ni maneno ya service center. We have a one-stop service center, one desk. So you get in, unapata license yako yote within minutes. Ukiwa na all documentation, unaingia pale service center, unapata SBP yako na licensing. Number 2 pia kwa sababu ya urafiki wetu na kufanya kazi pamoja na Safaricom ni ya kwamba si lazima uje ulipie ofisini. Unaweza tumia simu kulipa through paybill na kazi yako inafanyika kwa rahisi. Pia maneno ya parking hiyo yote inakuwa rahisi. Maneno ya biashara kuna policies zimetengenezwa, mpaka kuna environment, kuna export processing zone. So wale ambao wanaangalia nchi za nje na wanataka kufanya biashara wako na EPZ kule Cherunya. Pia maneno ya e-commerce kama ya leo tunajua ni 25 years ya Safaricom, wanatumia maneno ya M-Pesa, lazima unatumia pesa ama simu yako kufanya biashara. Sasa inakuwa rahisi, si lazima uende kwa bank ama uende kwa mwenzako kuna pesa, you can use your phone. Number 3, kitu kingine tumegundua pia network yao imekuwa kila mahali. Sasa inatusaidia kwa maneno ya internet, na pia tunaelewa ya kwamba wale ambao wanafanya kama farmers and even our traders, wale ambao wako kule mashinani, wanaweza enda access yao to any agent, wanafanya biashara, wanasaidika, wanaweza communicate, si vile tu Eldoret peke yake, Nairobi kule mpaka Wajir, wanajua wanaweza pata biashara na wanaweza pata customers zao. So kama leo tuko na furaha sana, tumefanya biashara nyingi ama kazi kwa pamoja kwa Safaricom. Hata tukiwa na maneno ya disaster, najua pia wao wametusaidia haswa kwa kazi na pia kusupport excellence the governor. So sisi kama Uasin Gishu tunafurahi kwa kawaida pia, kwa sababu tuko na ndugu zetu kule Trans Nzoia, tuko na wao wengine all the way to Bungoma, Samburu, Nandi, Elgeyo Marakwet. Tunaelewa ya kuwa tukiwa kwa pamoja tunaendelea kwa pamoja. So today here we are there to celebrate.
Waziri, huku ni kwa wakulima, huku ndio wanasema the food baskets ya Kenya mzima. Mnafanya kazi gani na wakulima na pia na Safaricom kuhakikisha kuwa mmefikia wakulima? Tunajua ni sasa tuko kilimo biashara. Kilimo biashara, sasa njia gani ndio mtafanya kazi na Safaricom?
So Safaricom tunafanya nao kazi nyingi. Vile umesema, this is the food and the grain basket of Uasin Gishu and even the country. Sasa in terms of the farmers, we have put them into cooperative societies. Na pia through that na Safaricom tumefanya maneno ya dairy. So tumewaleta kwa pamoja na wanaongeleshwa, wanafundishwa, na pia wanaweza tumia simu. Kama sasa tuko na maziwa ni school fees, na tunajua through their training tunaenda kufanya nao maneno ya kahawa, kwa sababu this region governor amesema lazima to diversify, so coffee is coming in, na ni wao ambao pia wanatusaidia kufanya training. The same farmers pia tuna maneno ya kama fertilizer, wanapelekewa all the way to the last mile, kwa sababu tunafanya na national government, na all types, kila kitu through mafundisho. Pia wao wanatumia zile simu kama M-Pesa, wanatumia pia zile simu kufanya maneno ya e-commerce and even trading online, na pia tunajua wamesaidia maneno ya kuweka akiba. Kwanza kitu kingine tunafurahia sana ni hii mtindo ambao unaweka pesa kidogo inapata interest. So inakuwa inasaidia the saving culture of our people, especially because we are majority farmers, and that way na tukiona pia vijana wakiingia, inamaanisha the future is bright, because it is now 25 years, but the future after 25 the young people take over. So definitely we are assured of growth in this region. Yes.
Asante sana kongoi mising noto go CCM noto nebo trade in county nebo Uasin Gishu nakando chine betu tabrani higorta neta nege negilumdo 25 years chebo Safaricom mamache ngalal age inenet ko Samuel Kirubi na inenet ko regional business lead region ni Tugul. Naona umejiami kweli, naona umeimba, naona umefurahi. Hebu tuambie unajihisi aje kama wewe kibinafsi?
So kwangu niko na furaha sana kwa wateja wetu. Wametusupport miaka 25. Walijenga hii kampuni, wakatupania chance ya kuwaserve. So tumefurahi sana kwa sababu wametusupport for 25 years. Pia wateja wamekuwa na sisi kwa miaka 25. Ukifikiria watu milioni 50 walitupatia license, wakatupatia nafasi ya kuwaserve watu milioni 50. So tunataka kuwashukuru sana wateja wetu kwa sababu wametujenga, wametulea, tumefika hapa miaka 25, wakatusaidia kuanzisha M-Pesa. M-Pesa sasa iko na 35 million customers, wote wako huko ndani 18 years later. So kwangu nataka niko na furaha sana. Na pia kuwashukuru wa Kenya kwa kutupatia ile nafasi ambayo ni wengi wangetaka kuipata hiyo nafasi. Wanipatia nafasi ya kuwaserve kwa hiyo miaka yote 25. So leo niko na furaha, tunajaribu kukata keki kidogo na wateja wetu wakifurahia, tuwapatie chance ya kukula keki kidogo. Na kwa sababu utamu yetu inatokaka kwa network, so tunawapatia 10 minutes wanachukua, 250 ml wanachukua. Pia wanaweza kuwa among the 5 millionaires. So mtu kwa hii region unaweza pata milioni mzima, ama utapata 250,000 shillings upatie community ile iko karibu na wewe, ama kama wewe uko na biashara yako kidogo unaweza pata 100k, unaweza pata bajaji. Pesa ni nyingi, unaweza pata 10,000 shillings. Na pia tuko na green box. Ukiona ikipita karibu na wewe, utukaribie, ufinye mahali utaambiwa ufinye. Ng'ombe inaweza toka. buzi inaweza toka, kuku inaweza toka, ama shopping yako ya Christmas unamaliziwa hapo hapo. Kwa hivyo ni furaha tele kwangu kwa kushirikiana na wateja wetu.
Mambo mawili, ya kwanza tumekuwa tukifunza watu watapeli ambao wanatumia sasa promotion kama hii ya leo. Je, unaweza waambia nini wasikilizaji wa Kass TV na Kass FM? Najua kuna watu wataanza kusema mmejishindia na bado. Je, nitajua aje mimi kama Triza customer ni wa Safaricom, nitajua aje nimeshinda?
Njia ina mbili. Kumbuka ukichukua simu yako, ukienda kwa SIM card yako, utapata message zetu zote pale juu zinatoka kwa Safaricom. Zote lazima zitoke kwa Safaricom. Kama unapigiwa simu, unapigiwa na 0722 000 000 ni hiyo tu inaweza kukupigia simu. Mwingine yote ni tapeli. So message zetu zinatoka Safaricom na lazima pale juu imeandikwa Safaricom. Number 2 ukipigiwa simu inatoka 0722 000 So wasitapeliwe na mtu yoyote kwa hii promotion.
Kuna mtu wako nyumbani hana simu, hana hata ile moja tu yenye haina smartphone. Je, mmefanya nini muhakikishe kuwa mtu mimi kama labda sina pesa nitapata simu?
Kwa aina fulani tumesaidia hao wateja. Tulikuwa na simu ya 6,000. Siku hizi tunaiuza 3,000 tu. Half price, 3,000 tu kwa wateja wetu peke yake. So wanaweza tumia hiyo. Pengine kitambo alikuwa na simu ako na bonga points. Akiingia kwetu atapata simu na ile bonga points. So simu yetu ni rahisi kabisa. 3,000 tu inaitwa Neon. Utakuwa umeshikilia simu yako na unaweza tumia ile siku unachukua SIM card unaweka ndani, hiyo siku unaanza kuitumia hiyo siku. Unaweza shinda milioni hiyo siku. Hiyo siku unaweza pata milioni. Hiyo siku unaweza pata ng'ombe ama mbuzi. So kwetu tunawapatia chance hiyo siku unaanza kushinda kitu. Uko na simu ya Neon 3,000 uko na simu yako.
Asante sana Bwana Kirubi, nashukuru sana, tutazungumza pia baadaye. So jita quality ngongetene account na watu ambao wazingishu. Tesita sherehe na again. Nandi Gardens ole mite tiening, mite customers. Kimite na kichego gi Kass FM International Kass TV. So melo ite na le mi radio amungi goni tu tekororan. Age mwango ba Safaricom at 25. Kaine nyon ko Triza Cherorot kongeten Nandi Gardens awektene Soet Kass TV akcheche in radio Kass FM International.
Kwa missing natogo kabarastani nebo Kass FM International Kass Media Group natogo Triza Cherorot ko ibuech report nata netinye ke yak roadshow netestai koyoe kampunitab Safaricom en komoswek cheterter chebo North Rift ole testai koboibochi kenyisiek 25 nebo boisiet notok bo boisionik tetutik chebo kampunitab Safaricom. Agewekse studio ko kagomwan kokon ng'olyot nebo mutyo koityi meng'ik chebo komosta nebo Chesongo Elgeyo Marakwet. Sirindet neo ministry nebo tililindo netelechin department nebo public health and professional standards noto Mary Muthoni kosubkei ak nyasutiet nekobit nebo ng'isianetab ng'wendet en komoswek chotok ole konerat kamis kole wendi koyoe kit age tugul neimukakse serikali kotoret bichotok. Ng'ololi en kanisetab Catholic nebo St. Martin Kiambu nemiten Gishugu en Kirinyaga County komwa Muthoni kole koimuch kobois en kibagenge ministry nebo tililindo ak serikalitab county nebo Elgeyo Marakwet asikomuch koker kole katestai konyor toretet nemokyingei biik chekoityi nyasutyonotok.
With the affected families in the landslide of Elgeyo Marakwet, I want to confirm that the Ministry of Health and the county government are working very closely. We have deployed our teams to coordinate together with other ministries, Ministry of Interior, to ensure that the families who have lost their loved ones, we can provide psychosocial support, and we are also able to assist in the evacuation exercise. So I want to say pole. Kule Elgeyo Marakwet kulikuwa na mambo inaitwa landslide na kuna watu wamekufa. Can you imagine a village like this kama imefagiliwa na maji na mmomonyoko wa udongo? Mpaka saa hii more than 30 people hata wajulikani wako wapi. Hatujui wako chini ya mchanga ama wako kwa mto. So you should thank God if you're alive. Na ndio maana nimesema it is important to know when God has blessed you. So tuwaombe na tuwaombe kabisa. Fungulie sana. Na ile yote tumeongea mambo ya public health. Ni vizuri tushirikiane na CHPs. Wale CHPs wa hapa, tafadhali, this is the time, mujikaze, muende kwa kila nyumba, muhakikishe kuna choo, muhakikishe wako wasafi, muhakikishe kila mtu akona maji imechemshwa, muhakikishe mmedistribute tablets za kuweka kwa maji, ndio tusipatwe na ile magonjwa madogo. So tuendelee kuombeana, tuendelee kuombea the county government of Elgeyo Marakwet. Nimeongea na governor jana usiku na akaniambia wameshikilia, na we are dealing with the whole of government. Mambo ikitokea mahali, sisi wote tunashikana na tunafanya kazi pamoja. Asanteni sana.
Akagono cherset koityi sigik, Head of Public Service Felix Koskei koker kole kaikochi tiyet lagokwak chetinye talentaisiek cheterter asikomuch ichek kosuldaen anan koboisien akonyorunen kelchin talentaisiekwak. Kamwa Koskei kole kikochi serikali tiyet neo tetutik chetokyingei kekanapta talentaisiek kosubkei ak netindoi kelchin neo, ako notok amune asikotoi kolumda serikali tetutik cheterter chetoreti boisiet nebo talentaisiek. Kinyoru report nebo Nelson Talbey.
Kong'alali eng kokwetab Chepnoet eng Mosop eng ikorta nekaboibochi kipseon arap manyor kenyisiek 20 chebo usanii, komwa Head of Public Service Felix Koskei kole eng kasari kotinye kelchin neo talantaisiek.
Ndio nataka ni encourage watoto wadogo, wale wadogo, hata watu wakubwa wale wanataka kuingia hiyo sekta. That sector is lucrative, that sector iko na pesa, hiyo sekta inajulikana na inaaminika na serikali imeapprove hiyo sekta ya usanii.
Kacherene sikikonam eun lagokwak chetinye talantaisiek cheterter kosubkei ak nechang kelchinoik.
Mungu kumelen kikalel Mungu anakiapoteza. Kingokochin chito talent fulani kokingen amune, ongiyan akongetoret lagokyok, vijanaekyok chokokoyan koek wasanii, maana jikongen age kotien komie, age kobo comedy, age kolabati, ketoret age supporten kotko mutai konyor chepkondokyik, konyor malikyik kobun talanta nekikochin Kamuktaindet.
Kayamis ine kole testai serikali kokochin tiyet neo talentaisiek eng emoni, noto amune kitoi serikali somanet nebo CBC.
Konyolu akot akichek kisub amu kikiwayan serikali akokon curriculum nebo CBC netindoi tugun chekilen pathways. Lakwet nguno nebo ng'alechuto chu kosub konetkei, ko secondary kotari, ko university kotari, akotestai ak talent nenyinet. Ngo comedy kotestai ko graduate akoyae ne akomi comedy.
Kayamis ine kora kole testai boisionik cheterter eng county nebo Nandi, mising ko nebo teksetab ortinwek.
Testai boisionik mi olda age ole kimach kochelewan kidogo, lakini ko kichepkondok, lakini koketet. Kou nguno ng'alekab barabarosiek komatonyoru wasiwasi. Kikecheng chepkondok kikenyoru. Barabarosiek chu tugul koningete olimbo kapchuma konyini kokenu kakemwowo kawe Nairobi asikepangan kot kechop nyukwo Kapyemit. Ako niwendi Seliani kokoe kora aset kot kosikyi kot koketoune mara mokot korok kobun biik sikechenge lamit baadaye.
Kong'eteke county nebo Nandi, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Nelson Talbey.
Keng'etu en county notok bo Nandi ko en kasarta ne katoige tiemutik chebo KCSE ko en county nebo Nandi kotestai kipsomaninik oeng'u koyoe tiemutikwak en sipitalitab Kapsabet County Referral Hospital chekotestai ak konyoiset nitok kosubkei ak Deputy County Commissioner nebo Nandi Central Alfaith Chilo nekomwa kole koinde serikali tetutik tugul chebo koker kole kaisulda tiemutik chotok en oret nenyolu. Kinyoru report nebo Cornelius Keter.
Kamwa Deputy County Commissioner nebo Nandi Central Alfred Chilo kole koinde ministry nebo somanet kakwautik chebo koro kole kait tiemutik tugul sukulisiek eng sait neititaat angot eng kasarta netestai keborunchin ropta neo eng emoni kou notok komitei komaswek eng county nebo Nandi chemabunoksei kosubkei ak ortinwek cheyachen.
Aware that the weather is rainy at this time of exam management. We have made necessary necessary arrangements in case of some of the school buses which are transporting the center managers with the center exams, in case they meet for logistic reasons, in case the buses don't manage to maneuver through the roads. We have standby vehicles to ferry the exams of the center managers to the various respective centers in good time.
Kates komwa chilo kole bendi kwai kipsomaninik aengu tiemutikab KCSE koboto chebo KJSEA eng sipitalitab Kapsabet County Referral Hospital chetesetai ak kanyoiset.
This morning also we had a number of candidates who will be doing the exams in Kapsabet Referral Hospital. We have also ensured that we have provided the respective invigilators and supervisors to supervise the process, and also we have also assigned security to secure the exam.
Kaikimit chilo nekaindochin yatetab tiemutik chotok eng karutab betutab rani eng Kapsabet kole kotestai tiemutikab kipseak chebo JCEA eng oret neititaat amakiboronji yautik alak tugul chebo ngolset ak komong'u kole wendi kotestai tiemutikab KCSE eng oret nemie.
This morning we were issuing exams for KJSEA. As you are aware, KJSEA today will be the last day for the national exam. For KCSE, today we had started and issued exam for the mainstream or the core subject, and for Nandi Central we had a total of 29 center managers who were here. They received the exams well. We opened the exam container by 7 in the morning, and we distributed exam for KJSEA and KCSE, and the process ended very well, and we also managed the issuing exercise in good time. All the center managers have left for their various and respective centers with secured personnel. For the KCSE, they are all been assigned security, and so far we are now monitoring to ensure that all the center managers arrive at their destined center exam centers in good condition.
Kongete taunitab Kapsabet eng county nebo Nandi, logoiwekab emet chebo Kass, kainenyu ko Cornelius Keter.
Agen ngunon ketokchinigei county nebo Nakuru ole kaindochi President William Ruto lumdaetab taunet nebo teksetab kebeberta nenat kou Kaishan Green Ammonia Terra Green Ammonia Limited, notok kebeberta nekimong'unen kimnatet notok nebo generating Kenya Electricity Generating Company, notok ko KenGen, newendi koboisie ak kampunit nebo Kaishan komong icheket kimnatet nebo stimet en komosatak ole notok ko kosubkei ak kayanchinet nekiityi kampunit notok koboto serikalitab emetab Kenya ole wendi koboisie kampunit notok bo Kaishan komong'u kora kimnatet nekiboisien en chobet nebo fertilizer chebo ammonia en komosatak, ako notok ko factory anan mung'aret nekimong'u keboisien rabinik chete milionishek 800 chotok ko chebo US dollar. Ako notok wendi kotoreti emetab Kenya koityi magutikyik chebo kamang'unetab kimnatoshek ak kora kimnatoshek chetililen.
The President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My task this morning, Your Excellency, is very simple. It's just to welcome you to Olkaria. Secondly, Your Excellency, before I proceed to do that, is to acknowledge the presence in our midst of a number of members of Parliament. We have the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly, the Honorable Tindi Mwale, who is the MP for Butere, accompanied by a number of his committee members, if you may be upstanding for His Excellency to see you. The Honorable Mary Emase, the Honorable Miriam Kitan, and yes, my good friend, yes, from Turkana Central. Thank you very much. And we also have, Your Excellency, with us, the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Energy of the National Assembly, who is also the MP for Narok East, the Honorable Ken Ahmad. Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Your Excellency, this is indeed a historic day. It's a historic day not only for Olkaria, also for Kenya, and indeed for the entire Africa. Project, Your Excellency, that you've come to launch this morning is part of your transformative agenda. It fits squarely within your transformation agenda for this country. Your Excellency, is also a testament to the fact that green energy can not only power our industries and homes, but can also help us make advancements in the field of agriculture, Your Excellency. And therefore, this day will remain extremely memorable, not only to us as a Ministry of Energy, but to the entire country. Your Excellency, you have challenged us many times that we should make energy the engine of this country's transformation. This project partly answers that call, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, I also believe that this bold step that we have made really makes us as a country get closer to achieving the first world status that we have always aspired this country to achieve. And therefore, Excellency, we want to encourage you to continue on this trajectory for the betterment of this country and indeed for the betterment of the entire humanity. Your Excellency, let me thank these categories of people. First and foremost, the Kenyan Board and Management. The Kenyan Board and Management for their invaluable support throughout this exercise. The Honorable Chairman, Honorable Alfred Agoy, is out of the country on official duty and extends his apologies. For supporting us along the way. Finally, Your Excellency, let me thank the community of Olkaria. Wacha niwashukuru wananchi wapendwa wa Olkaria, Wanaivasha, Wanakuru County kwa kutuunga mkono katika hii safari. Kwa haya na machache, Mheshimiwa Rais, wacha nichukue fursa hii kukaribisha uje na uongee na watu wako. Hebu tusimame tumkaribishe Mheshimiwa Rais. Ngeleshe, asanteni sana.
Asanteni sana, tafadhali tunaweza keti chini. Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me immense pleasure to join you this morning here in Olkaria, Nakuru County to unveil this critical and transformative investment and venture, the Kengen Kaishan Green Ammonia Fertilizer Project. This project stands as a flagship of Kenya's green industrialization transformation, a compelling example of how energy, technology, and vision can converge to drive national prosperity, create opportunities for employment, expand opportunities for jobs and investment, and restore dignity to people. This is a very important event. I have been out of my office for a week. Today, when I landed in my office, I had a full desk with papers and stuff. But this was so important to me that I had to postpone even my trip to Qatar to be able to preside over this function. Many may not know the significance of what we are doing here today. Let me say, for many to understand, this event is historic because of three and many reasons. I'll give you a few. But one, this event represents an investment of $800 million That is close to 100 billion shillings. It demonstrates confidence in the Republic of Kenya, and it gives us an indication of what investors think about Kenya. When we say we have stabilized our economy, we have brought inflation under control, we have stabilized our exchange rate, and our economy is on sound footing, this is what you get: confidence by investors to put their money in our country. Number two, it is significant because for the first time in the African soil, fertilizer will be produced from ammonia that is coming from green energy. This is the first ever plant in this continent that this is going to happen. We have been in many meetings. Ever since I came into office, I held the Africa Climate Summit to discuss how to balance environment and nature, and to persuade many who do not see how it is possible for us to live in a world that is sustainable and to have energy that does not interfere with nature. Today is a testimony that green energy is not only sustainable, but it is possible to power our energy needs using green energy. And number three, this event is significant because it speaks to the heart of our nation, and that is farming. And I speak so passionately as a farmer myself that we will now have fertilizer that is not imported. For record, we spend close to 80 billion shillings every year to import fertilizer to Kenya. This plant will now generate fertilizer from our own geothermal resources, using local products, using local raw materials, local energy, local human capital, and 480 metric tons is close to 9.2 million 50 kilogram bags of fertilizer. That means that not only will farmers have a reliable supply of fertilizer that is not predicated on events elsewhere in the world, whether we have war in Europe or elsewhere, we will not have trouble with logistics, but much more importantly, it's going to save us on our foreign exchange. We will not be using our foreign exchange to import fertilizer. We will be producing fertilizer from our own resources. And therefore, this is a very significant investment and a very significant project for Kenya. It is also important for us to know that while I have pursued the chairman, we were supposed to do this with a different company called FFI, but they let us down. But when I discussed with the chairman of Kass, and he offered to step in, I have been on this project for the last 2.5 years. I think I have had countless meetings in my office. My good friend, the former CEO of GDC there, who is now an advisor in my office, has been working with me and my economic team to see how we can bring this to fruition. And so I am very, very proud this moment. This morning is a great morning for Kenya and for those of us who are farmers. I am making the first order of 5,000 bags of fertilizer. The first fertilizer I will be the one to use in my farm. Because for decades, farmers, who are the cornerstone of our nation, have borne the burden of unpredictable fertilizer prices, supply shocks, and global volatility. These challenges have inflated food costs, reduced yields, and strained household incomes. In 2023 alone, Kenya imported more than 600 metric tons of fertilizer at a cost of close to 80 billion shillings. In just the first half of 2025, we have imported 443 tons of fertilizer worth nearly 60 billion. That is between January and now. Each shipment represents a cost to our national treasury and to our dollar reserves, and a lost opportunity for young people in Kenya. This government is determined to change that reality, and today's event marks a decisive step towards self-sufficiency and resilience in fertilizer production. The Kenyan Kaishan Green Fertilizer Plant will produce, as I have said, 480 metric tons of fertilizer every year, guaranteeing farmers a steady and affordable supply. It will shield our economy from global price shocks, strengthen food security, and save the country's valuable foreign exchange reserves that can be now redirected to other national priorities. From deep beneath the Rift Valley flows one of our greatest industrial treasures, the geothermal steel. Kenya holds an estimated 10,000 megawatts of geothermal potential, yet we have harnessed just less than 10,000 or 10%, which is 1,000 megawatts. Kenya's leadership in geothermal energy gives us a unique advantage to power green industries sustainably. This project will tap 165 megawatts of geothermal power to synthesize green ammonia and convert it into fertilizer, the first project of its kind in Africa. Beyond fertilizer production, this venture will prevent more than 600 tons of carbon dioxide emission every year, equivalent to getting 130,000 internal combustion engine cars off the road. At the same time, it will create more than 1,000 jobs, offering opportunities for our young people and local communities. It will also nurture a new generation of geothermal engineers, hydrogen experts, process operators, and innovators in many fields, the pioneers who will power Africa's green industrialization future. Beyond its environmental and social impact, this project is also a sound commercial investment. With a total investment value of US dollars 800 million, it is projected to generate more than 13 million US dollars, that is 1.7 billion Kenya shillings in annual profits to Kenyan, while opening new frontiers for carbon credit generation and trading under international climate mechanisms. Around the world, markets are rewarding sustainability. Green fertilizer will give Kenyan exports a competitive edge, open new markets for our agribusinesses, and strengthen our position in global value chains. Kenya is proud to lead Africa in proving that green innovation is both profitable and sustainable. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all appreciate, investments in energy are among the most capital-intensive ventures any nation can undertake. Expanding generation, transmission, and distribution requires massive upfront resources, yet it remains the foundation of every thriving economy. Without affordable and reliable power, there cannot be true industrialization, no thriving enterprise, and no inclusive prosperity. That is why we must pursue innovative and sustainable pathways to expand our national energy capacity. Kenya cannot realize her industrial and development aspirations on the current installed capacity of 2,300 megawatts. To power our ambition in manufacturing, mining, agriculture, infrastructure, and digital innovation, we must think bigger, move faster, and invest smarter. As government, we have therefore set out an ambitious target to increase our national energy capacity to at least 10,000 megawatts in the next decade. Achieving this goal will demand bold partnerships, creative financing, and strategic foresight. It is the reason why we are not only giving priority to public-private partnerships, such as the one we launched here today, but also establishing a national infrastructure fund to mobilize long-term blended capital for transformative projects, not only in energy, but also in transport, in our airports, in roads, in our dams, and other critical enablers of growth. As we expand our energy base, we are also transforming how we manage water and food security. We must be a nation that dreams boldly and executes decisively. Our target is to build 50 new mega dams across the country, bringing at least 2.5 million acres of land under irrigation to secure our food supply, boost agricultural productivity, and expand our agricultural exports. We cannot claim to be a food secure nation while still depending on rain-fed agriculture. Expanded irrigation will enable us to cut our current food import bill, now standing at Kenya shillings 500 billion shillings annually, and redirect those resources to finance our national transformation agenda. At the same time, we must expand our road network. And speaking about what I have said here, the Member of Parliament who represents the next constituency here, on behalf of the other leaders from this region, it is our intention that as we expand the job opportunities that will be found in this KenGen, as was said by KenGen management, they will involve the local community here in making sure that the young people that come from this area become part and parcel of the workforce that will drive this great investment. Let me also say that as we expand our generation from geothermal, I'm very happy that there's a lot of expertise that has been built at KenGen on dam construction. As we do the 50 mega dams, we should be able to generate an extra 2,000 megawatts of energy and also store enough water to irrigate 2.5 million acres of land. Because at the moment, the land under production in rain-fed agriculture is almost depleted. And therefore, the only potential that exists for us to generate and produce more food and stop importing food to Kenya is to go irrigation. Irrigation, therefore, requires us to store water and to also make sure that we generate energy using that water as we use it for irrigation. And therefore, I am looking forward to working with the leaders in this space, members of parliament, both at the National Assembly and the Senate, as we push the new initiative that will give us an infrastructure fund that is going to work with the private sector. We all realize that unless we leverage the private sector, we will not have enough resources to drive our transformation. But if we work with the private sector, like in this particular case, Keshan is investing $800 million. That is 100 billion shillings. That is not our money. That is not in the balance sheet of the Kenya government. It is private sector money. But how are we connecting the dots? We are giving them a power purchase agreement. We are going to give them a fertilizer purchase agreement that is going to support this investment. The National Infrastructure Fund will be able to be the fulcrum where we can structure more investments, leveraging on public resources, public assets, to leverage private sector resources to be able to implement public projects. Just here in Naivasha, this month, I will be coming to launch the road from Rironi to Mau Summit. It is going to cost anywhere between 170 and 200 billion. Again, it is not public money. How are we leveraging the private sector? This is private sector money. We are going to give them a concession agreement that is going to generate resources for them to repay their investment. And this is the kind of innovation and creativity that we need in the public sector for us to use public assets, public resources to leverage 3, 4, 5 times private sector resources to be able to drive our transformation. It is no longer possible for us to borrow money to build a road like the one we are going to build here from Rironi to Mau Summit. If we were to borrow 200 billion shillings, we would have to close our books and do nothing else. So it is important for us to know, how are we going to think outside the box? We need to be strategic, we need to be innovative, and we need to be agile in how we leverage the resources that we have. And that is why I am determined that our country has tremendous potential, and we've always talked about it, but we haven't actualized because there has not been enough strategic thinking, enough creative and innovative investments to be able to unlock the great potential that our country is. And that is why I insist that Kenya is a third world country by mistake. And we owe it to the people of Kenya to get Kenya to the right place. Kenya is supposed to be among the first world countries. And we can do it in our lifetime if we are strategic, if we are innovative, and if we can think outside the box. And therefore, I am very confident that this investment energizes our resolve of transforming Kenya to that great nation that it should be. When I say that we should expand, and this is the plan that I'm going to lay out to the people of Kenya, that we should have at least a minimum of 1,000 kilometers of dual carriageway tolled, so that we can have enough superhighways in Kenya. I have instructed the Ministry of Roads to work on the first 10,000 kilometers priority list and another 10,000 kilometers phase 2, so that instead of haggling about 2 kilometers here, 10 kilometers there, 20 kilometers here, and we are scrambling and there is negative competition, we should be bold and do between 10 and 20,000 kilometers so that we can connect every part of Kenya and make every region believe that they belong to one great nation called Kenya. At the same time, I will be, and I'm happy that the members of parliament are here. When you go back to parliament, you will find on your desk a proposal from me on sovereign wealth fund and national infrastructure fund, because that is how we are going to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country. I remember the other day when I said we need about 4 trillion shillings to be able to do our roads, to be able to do 10,000 kilometers of 10,000 megawatts of energy, and to be able to do 2.5 million acres of irrigation. Many people think that 4 trillion shillings is not feasible. If this project alone is 100 billion, 4 trillion is just around the corner. And I'm going to show you how we are going to get 4 trillion and transform this nation. Already, as I talk to you, I remember when I was in Ethiopia, and I mentioned that we have signed contracts of $4 billion under our housing program. Many people question the statistics. I want to repeat. Let me put it in Kenya shillings. $4 billion is roughly close to beyond 500 billion Kenya shillings, almost 600. That is the contracts we have signed in our housing, in our markets, in our hostels. And we have done it using our own resources. We have not borrowed a shilling from anybody. That is how you transform a nation. And that is how we're going to move Kenya from a third world country to a first world country in our lifetime, by doing the innovative stuff, by working with creativity, by having strategic foresight. I welcome all leaders. I'm happy members of parliament are here, and every other Kenyan, that we're going to work together. This is the scale of our ambition and the measure of our determination to build a modern, food secure nation supported by world-class infrastructure that powers opportunity and prosperity for every Kenyan. Together, we are called upon to dream boldly, act decisively, and deliver a future of shared prosperity. One of the presidents of the United States said, leaders are measured by the vision they have and the price they are willing to pay for its achievement. I want to challenge every leader in Kenya that the vision we have for our nation, we must be willing to pay the price for its achievement. Thank you very much. My very best wishes to Keishan and Kenjen. I look forward to coming here in 2027 in April to open the plant, and I look forward to your supply of fertilizer in August, as you have told me. I want to be the first farmer to use green fertilizer from our own resources. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
One more round of applause for His Excellency's wonderful speech. May I request that we take our seats briefly? Your Excellency, we have some gifts for you. Let's take our seats, please. Kindly, let's take our seats. And the first gift is from Kenjen. So let me invite the MD and CEO, Engineer Peter Njenga, to present the gift. Naomba tafadhali tuketi. Hebu tuketi kidogo tafadhali. Tuketi. Tuketi.
Asanteni sana. Wananchi wa hapa wanasema hawajapata stima. Very good. Sasa wewe waziri, kabla hujatoka hapa ukubaliane na hawa wananchi. Getini tu, getini chini. Utakubaliana na hawa wananchi vile watapata stima. Si ndio? Si nyinyi ndio mnatusaidia kupata stima Kenya mzima? Na si nyama ikichinjwa iko na ya wale wa kuchinja nyumbani pale. So waziri and your peers, I want you to work with the community around here. I know some houses, kuna manyumba zingine zimepata, lakini hao wananchi wanasema hawajapata stima ya kutosha. Ni namna hiyo. Na vile vile tuunganishe barabara ile ya kutoka hapa, tuunganishe mpaka ishikane na ile barabara ya kwenda Narok. Ndio hawa wananchi tafuatilia, ndio tuhakikisha kwamba dunia hiyo inasonga. Ni sawa hivyo? Ni sawa hivyo? Bas. Ati? Aya, asante sana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
MD, kindly, if you can come and present the gift, and then